In Title 8 of the CCR. Well, California Code of Regulations is the CCR, and Title 8 is one of 27 titles that contain state regulations. Title 8 is called Industrial Relations, and it contains three divisions. There are also a number of chapters and articles containing individual regulatory sections. So the following is a broad overview of California Code of Regulations, Title 8. Division 1, Department of Industrial Relations. Chapter 1 is the Division of Workers' Compensation Qualified Medical Evaluator Regulations with 112 sections. Chapter 2 is the California Apprenticeship Council with 85 sections. Chapter 3 is the Fair Employment and Housing Commission with one section. Chapter 3.2 is the California Occupational Safety and Health Regulations, Cal OSHA, with 122 sections. Chapter 3.3 is the Occupational Safety and Health Appeals Board with 94 sections. Chapter 3.5 is the Occupational Safety and Health Standards Board with 55 sections. Chapter 4 is the Division of Industrial Safety with 3,176 sections. Chapter 4.5 is the Division of Workers' Compensation with 782 sections. Chapter 5 is the Industrial Welfare Commission with 27 sections. Chapter 6 is the Division of Labor Standards Enforcement with 273 sections. Chapter 7 is the Department of Industrial Relations with 49 sections. Chapter 8 is the Office of the Director with 358 sections. Division 2 is on the Agricultural Labor Relations Board. Chapter 1, Definitions, has 9 sections. Chapter 1.5, General Rules of Pleading and Practice, with 14 sections. Chapter 2 is the Unfair Labor Practice Regulations, with 63 sections. Chapter 3 is the procedure under Chapter 5 of the Act for the determination of questions concerning representation of employees, with 25 sections. Chapter 4 is the Mandatory Mediation and Conciliation with 9 sections. Chapter 4.5 is the Submission of Collective Bargaining Agreements, has 1 section. Chapter 5 is Certification and Signature of Documents with 2 sections. Chapter 6 is the Availability of Board Materials and Documents with 1 section. Chapter 7 is Prohibited Communications with 5 sections. Chapter 8 is Practice Before the Board with 2 sections. Chapter 9 is Solicitation by Non-Employee Organizers with 4 sections. Chapter 10 is Symbols or Emblems with 2 sections. Chapter 12 is a Conflict of Interest Code with 1 section and 1 appendix. Then there's Division 3, the Public Employment Relations Board. Chapter 1 is the Public Employment Relations Board with 191 sections. Chapter 2, Educational Employment Relations Act with 38 sections. Chapter 3, State Employer-Employee Relations Act with 22 sections. Chapter 4, Higher Education Employer-Employee Relations Act with 33 sections. Chapter 5 is the Myers-Milius-Brown Act with 57 sections. Chapter 6 is the Transit Employer-Employee Relations Act with 31 sections. Chapter 7 is the Trial Court Employment Protection and Governance Act with 52 sections. Chapter 8 is the Trial Court Interpreter Employment and Labor Relations Act with 53 sections. Chapter 9 is Procedures under Specified Transit District Acts and Laws with 17 sections. And finally, Chapter 10, the In-Home Supportive Services Employer-Employee Relations Act, which was repealed. As a result, the California Code of Regulations Title 8 contains 5,568 individual regulatory sections.